What would you say are three books that have influenced you the most?
Well, my favorite that I think I've mentioned to you that I tell everybody to read at some point is Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. It's written like a screenplay, and I love film, so that kind of tied into it for me. And it's about an Asian American man who is like working as an actor and he wants a lead role, but he's always getting cast in like the stereotypical side character roles. And it touches a lot on like racial politics and racial identity in the workplace and in entertainment and what representation or good representation looks like. And I think those are important things to consider, like especially when we consume a lot of media, because like not everyone's gonna look like me, but now a lot of people do. So things like that
Hmm.
are really interesting to think about. So that's a big one. And I love that book. And I should reread it because now that I think about it, it's been a few years since I read
Okay.
it. But I really love that one. Another one, um, that, oh my God. I feel like I constantly have to clear my throat. It's so annoying. Anyway, another book I really, I guess, was influenced by is Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. I love
Oh,
Anthony Bourdain.
interesting.
I'm not a cook at all. I can't, okay, I shouldn't say I can't cook because anyone can cook. That's what they say in Ratatouille, right? So like I could learn. I'm just not great at it. But I know nothing about like culinary things, but I love Anthony Bourdain and his like way of living, I think was so I don't know, interesting and cool. And like, yeah, he was a flawed person, but everybody is. And I think the fact that he really sought out new experiences in his life, like, makes it that much more admirable in a way. Because I'm like, I want to do the same thing and I want to like explore new cultures and things and like just put myself somewhere and see what happens. Um, so he kind of, in that book, he talked about like where he started in Provincetown and like working at a restaurant there and like then he went to culinary school and then eventually like opening his own restaurant. I believe there's a second book that goes with that one, but I've only read Kitchen Confidential and I loved it. It was really, really good. So highly recommend if if you haven't read it
Yeah.
yet. That's a great one. Um, Another one that comes to mind is kind of a weird pull, but Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. I had to read it in high school, and I'm not a huge like war person. Like I that stuff's
Uh-huh.
not always been super interesting to me. I know there's a lot of people who do like it and like history and stuff like that. Um, but I read it in high school for a class, and I later learned that the movie Apocalypse Now is like based on that novel, which makes sense.
Oh, okay.
All the characters are like the same. It's like kind of an adaptation of it. And I really love the movie and the book. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But a few years ago, I watched a documentary about a photographer. Her name was Nan Golden, and she worked a lot with like helping victims of the opioid crisis because she also was
Okay.
affected by that. And she would like stage a lot of I guess like performance art. Like I think she did something at the Guggenheim where they like wrote on all
Oh,
the spiral walls. It was pretty cool. And then like she got a bunch of people to just lay on the ground as if they like had overdosed or something. And like she had empty
okay.
like pill bottles all around and they would just lay there and everyone in the museum just like had to walk by them. So like it was like you can't ignore the drug crisis and all that. And she really went after like big pharma. It was really interesting. Um, but there was a part in it where she quoted something from Heart of Darkness, and I wrote it down because I was like, I'm never gonna forget the quote, and I wanted to get it right. And it goes, "Droll thing life is. that mysterious arrangement of merciless logic for a futile purpose. The most you can hope from it is some knowledge of yourself that comes too late, a crop of unextinguishable regrets. And it's kind of like really nihilistic, but
Yes, yeah, it is.
it's really dark. But I've never forgotten it since I heard that. And I was like, I don't know. It makes me want to like almost live in spite of it. Because there have been times where I've gone into
Uh,
a really like nihilistic, absurdist, like existential
yeah,
perspective. I've like thought about these things a lot. And I still do. But I don't know, that one made me really I think it kind of hit me the most, and I was like, that's really dark, and I don't want my outlook on life to be like that. Um,
yeah.
so but I really liked that quote. I think those are three that I can think of.